And I'm live. Are we live? Can you hear me? It's not counting the seconds yet. There we go. 5 seconds. What's going on, guys? I am going live, random time. Again, trying to catch different viewers, different time zones. Just figure I would get online and do some chit-chatting and then show you some new stuff I've got. I had an accident with the 53 Les Paul Gold Top. We had some cracking as we were assembling, and I decided to refinish the headstock. So I did some wet sanding, and sometimes wet sanding gets in underneath the wood, and it pushed up a little bit of a piece. And then as I was playing with it, I didn't like it, so I decided to just sand and redo that. So that's sitting in the garage, doing that now. You saw the green telly I was working on, and then I'm actually editing the video as we speak. On the double cut, and we'll post that one shortly. And then I've got the Paul Reed Smith one compiled as well, so we'll get that up there. What's up, Chris? Cheers. Hope you guys are doing well. Hopefully you found a place. And then as I'm sitting here, I've also been making some switches. So the Veritone switches, it's been a real hard year to get parts in. So we started making those again. If you guys are interested, I actually got those in stock on the website. So I've got chokes here and switches, and we're just going through and making a bunch of stuff. So I actually bought a cordless, I don't know, soldering iron. I wanted to try it. I actually kind of like the way it works. It's kind of nice. No cord. It takes a little while to heat up. It's butane in here, and I go through a lot of soldering stuff. So that's a new toy for me. It was 19 bucks at Home Depot. Obviously, we're getting ready for the holidays, like all of you guys. And then I got a new toy from Stu Mac. You know, you guys always bitch when I tell you I buy from Stu Mac, but I got the big sanding beam. So these are new. You can level the frets with this, level the frets while the strings are still on. I've been doing this for the Whiskey Barrel guitars with the 9-inch, and this is the 18-inch. And so I updated that, bought that. I really like this tool. Plus, I like having the strings on when I level. I get the best setup. So that came. And then when I was playing with the 53, I got the lacquer pens, and I thought that I would use these lacquer pens. Then I read some more reviews on them, and it wasn't that good, but I bought a bunch to keep in stock. I may use the clear ones, see if I can get that to flow right. So just sort of a random set of questions, wondering what's going on with you guys, what you want to talk about. Cheers. What's on everyone's agenda? I'll probably give you guys a half hour tonight. Trying to make dinner with the daughter. All right, so Tom D asks a question. I have a plywood Kramer Japanese guitar body that I want to aerosol sanding seal. What grit do you sand the wood up to before spraying? Usually 320 is what I sand up to. You want to be careful that on plywood, as they push the plywood together, you'll get some gaps in the plywood, and you may want to actually use some filler first before you use a sealer. That's always, even once you sand and like some of that stuff falls out. So that's one of the things I would do with a sandwich plywood guitar. Just put some filler on the sides. It'll help you out. So that will be make your life a little bit easier as you're finishing. I put my acoustic back up here. I haven't played this thing in years. This is probably one of my best purchases that I've ever made. You know, I can make guitars, but I also am a fan like you guys. I buy a lot of stuff. For some reason, these stupid... my stand has been scratching my guitars, and I'm like, why? And I realized at some point the rubber fell off. But there was a music store in Fort Wayne going out of business years ago, and they had this Martin 175th anniversary Martin D28, and I bought it, And man, this was a great deal. These guitars, love this guitar. Like, I've had it for, I guess, 10 years. And outside the scratch that just happened from my stand, I haven't really had any issues with it. I didn't even pull the pickguard plastic off, but I love this guitar. This is just one of the things that I've been playing with. So now I can't put that guitar back on here because it's missing the piece of plastic to save it. So I don't know. Chris, I have not played an Ovation in a long time. Mr. Bundy, what's up? I actually got a project that I'm working on that you'll be interested in. I'm going to do the red brick die. I've been saving that for you. It's a custom shape. A couple more questions. If you take on custom builds, how much would you charge for a Les Paul standard? I usually charge like $3 for custom guitars, maybe $3,500 depending on the wood. I try not to gouge price because it doesn't make any sense. I mean, guys charging like $7-8 grand for builds, I don't know, it seems really steep. So for me, I try and charge like $3,500 at the most, depending on what you want. But you're gonna have to wait as well. That's the other thing, is my shop is full right now. I've got so many things I'm working on that I am really behind. So I've got this Firebird I'm working on that is already late. So yeah. All right, more questions. It's good to see you, Mr. Mark. Would you do a multi-ply guitar build and post it? Yes, Josh, I have that out there. There is a Firebird build that is a multi-ply that Frankie G on here had at one point, and that guitar was awesome. It was like a boat anchor. It was a little bit too heavy, but it was made with mahogany and maple, like a Chris Craft style guitar, and that was awesome. Haynes posted, I love box guitars built by myself, but it don't sound, I don't know what that means. I did a cigar box build. I think I gave that to Kevin Bond. Those are fun. Those are actually fun. You can get those cigar box guitars going pretty quickly. I did a video with those guys, cigarboxguitars.com. They sponsored me for a video, and that was pretty awesome. But I don't know. I need to do another one. Oh, speaking of that, oh, look at you guys. So I want to do a dog bowl resonator guitar. Justin posted a video from, I think it's Little Crow Guitars, and they took a dog bowl, flipped it upside down, and then put a bridge on here, and the guitar sounded awesome. And I was like, I got to do that. So I got a $6 dog bowl. This is going to be a project for myself that I'm going to play with. So that's something I'll be playing and screwing around with coming up, just to give you guys some insights. Let's see. The Iron Luke is, what's the best way to get started as luthier? The best way to get started is to go to pawn shops, get bad pawn shop guitars and refinish them, or sort of retool them. Find the cheapest guitars that you could screw around with, upgrade the parts, put new hardware, pickups, all that stuff. And if you can do that and not get too frustrated, then you can start getting into builds, which would you then would build a body. So go get an 8/4 piece of lumber, and you can start building from there. That's how I would get started. Which pot for volume, audio or linear? Why? This one I would probably need to do some research. I think you use audio pots for the volume because that's the one that is the same. Linear is the one that kind of does the long tail, I think. 7K is outrageous. Big D stuff, 3K is a bargain. Yeah, you got to buy one eventually, Mark. You told me. You teased me when we talked a couple months back, right? Is the wood you buy accessible to the public, like us non-builders, or do you have good channels to go through? So Kimball Hardwoods is where I get all of my woods outside the whiskey barrel stuff. I don't have any of his tops up here. I should probably leave some. But Kimball has the best wood on the internet. I buy from him exclusively now in terms of figured woods. There's no one else that puts as much time and effort and love into guitars and building like he does. I don't have any tops up here. He's where I buy all my tops from, Kimball Hardwoods. He's on Instagram. He's on, not Facebook. He's on eBay. You can get him. So he's the best. No way. What's no way, Mark? I thought you're buying something from me. What was the best marketing tool when I started out? This channel by far. But I was pretty lucky. I picked up some pretty famous customers really quick. I got a review for my Veritone switch in the Luthier's Workbench or whatever it was in 2004. I don't know if this is better to pull this down or to pull the poster down, but that was done in 2004. I got a review for my Veritone switch in 2004 from, I can't remember his name. I think it was Scott McDonald. He actually owns guitar.com website. He's a luthier, I think in Rhode Island, and he bought a switch. He did a review, and that actually got me going. And then I did the channel, and I've just kept going at this channel. So if you do a lookup on guitar building, you'll see my stuff. I think the only thing I haven't done all that well is remarketed my videos and made them really flashy, but that's not me. I mean, what you see is what you get. You're going to get an awesome guitar. If I screw it up, I will fix it. All right, there you go, Mr. Mark. Soon. All right. We'll get there eventually, I know. But you'll like this other one I'm building. I am seriously doing a red brick top for you on this quilted piece from Kimball. It's a custom shape. Maybe we can cut a deal on it, except you're a lefty, so I don't know. All right, what else are we doing here? Mr. Mike, what's up, buddy? How are you? You were spot on for joining the guitar build-off. You kind of did push me, so I've seen some of your comments online. I would say you get credit for doing the pushing me into the great guitar build-off. No way on the dog bowl. We gotta try it, Mark. You know, I haven't done anything for myself in a while, so I'm gonna do one for myself. All right, here's the questions. Would you build a Telecaster guitar, some of the whiskey barrel guitars, but use Winchester ammo box for the top? Yeah, I could. I would do that for sure. I'm going to be acquiring some stuff shortly, but would love to do that. I could cut you a deal on that. If you send me an email, Mr. Telly Spanker, I could figure that out. Lefty Love. How much would you, here's a question from Mitch. How much would you estimate a good budget type for a starting builder? I think, right? Equipment-wise, Mitch, is that what you're asking? What time is it in my country? I am in the U.S. It's almost 5. Hans. All right, so equipment-wise, you want to buy a decent table router. You want to buy a small bandsaw, and you can build any guitar body you want with that setup. That's what I started out with. And then my thing sort of mushroomed into craziness, and I bought a gazillion tools. But if you get a good table router, and I've got a video on my channel on building your own, and then you get a good small bandsaw, you can make any guitar body you want. Now, if you want to make necks, obviously that is a huge, huge undertaking because you need fret wire, bending tools. That's a whole nother thing. But if you want to just build bodies, which there's necks everywhere, that's the start. And then, Mr. Webster, what's up, dude? A good orbital sander. But I don't have a good orbital sander. I'm going to get the Makita in the basement that I did a review on. I think that was like a $50 tool, $60 tool. And I got a cheap Sears sander from when I was here, when I was working at Sears. So, all right. That's an equipment-wise answer. What time it was? I have a Mesa Blue Ridge acoustic that I plan to veneer the top and make a electric hollow body with 3 rails. I like Veritones. Maybe I'll buy one. Buy one, Tom. They're there. Fridge is testing. How hard do you think it would be to put Les Paul type of controls on a flying V? That should be pretty easy, Chris. Like, I've got a V, one of the Vs I made up here. You just have to reroute the control cavity to get it to fit. I'm looking at it right now, the V I built years ago. You could probably do that. It shouldn't be that hard. As long as you don't have the big V tail piece like I have on mine, that you have a stop tail piece, you should get that in. Let's see. Favorite hardware company? I don't know. That's a good one. I do like my ratio tuners and all the stuff I get from them. I love GraphTech. They've been very good to me, so I like their tuners. They don't have a lot of the traditional Les Paul bridges and stuff like that. They have the saddles, but they don't sell the bridges. I don't know. That's a good question. I do buy a lot of stuff from WD. As we're working on the 59, I decided to replace the tuners, so I ended up buying like all their different tuners to see like which ones would work best. And they actually carry Tone Pro's locking system, so I'm going to try this and see how this comes out. And then I needed some screws and everything else. If you guys are semi-serious, I would get an account with WD and buy through them. What's up, Timothy? All right. Favorite hardware. So that's my favorite hardware company. I don't know. I don't have a really good answer other than GraphTech and Ratio. All right, Mr. Mark is saying, I've been spending my ex money on Mama. Allows me to spend vocal equipment on my 14-year-old. Starting to move and shake on the local music scene. Yeah, you're going to have to get her into Nashville, man. That's I got a couple friends down there I can introduce you to. All right. Chris, I'm able to start building. I might try it. I don't know what you're referencing there. If I decide to refinish a guitar, what's a good place to get stain and nitro lacquer from? Would you recommend a crappy pawn? Yeah, always, Mitch, always get a pawn shop guitar and make it awesome. That's my advice to start. Avi, what's up, buddy? How's Perry? Yeah, I don't know if I use. I mean, nitro is a little bit of a pain. It's good and bad. There's good and bad with nitro. I like buying my stuff from StewMac. I like the spray cans because now they're convenient and it's cold. And so for me to pull out all my equipment, like I got a 220 electric heater that I've been running in the garage because I got to respray that headstock. But I'm, I don't know. All right, so you could do nitro. Get stain. You could get the stains from Angelus Leather Dyes. What I recommend, use my links. I get a little bit of a kickback, which helps the channel, helps put the kids through school as we're getting there. All right, Mr. Mike, an old pipes tradesman. I found that an angle grinder does amazing shaping work. Oh, no kidding. He even shaped the neck. I haven't shaped the neck, but I've used it to carve the top. That's been pretty good. The V. Yeah, the V, Chris, we should probably talk at some point about the V I built. It's actually pretty easy to make it this way without a lot of tools. Have I seen, did you hear the post on Instagram? No, but I did see the post, Mark, of your daughter. I had to listen to it. I didn't click through. I get lazy on clicking. Timothy say, have you seen the new series on StewMac about making a guitar? No, I have not. I don't watch a lot of other channels, to be quite honest. Only if I need to. So, any thoughts? Here we go. Any thoughts on how the next Great Guitar Build-Up might be improved for both official and unofficial? I would just like a straight vote and a straight bid amount win. I think if you get votes and bid amount, you have two winners. That would be my improvement. I will compete again if I'm asked. I don't know if I'm asked yet. And I have a CNC router that I will put to use in the basement for that as well. Cigar boxes are a great way to start. Let's see what else. I think I may start making a cigar box guitar and learn to fret like that. Yeah, so the first guitar I ever fully built, I did not radius the fretboard. I put the frets in, and then I didn't even level the frets. That guitar's sitting in the basement somewhere. I don't know if I can destroy it. My dad helped me glue that neck in. Mark, you've noticed that I haven't clicked in. I'm sorry. I'll do that. What CNC and what software? I have the Inventable CNC machine. Honestly, I'm not sure I would recommend that. It's a good hobby tool, but for doing more complicated things, it's not. It's like I want to be able to go and build and have the machine run. It runs off rubber bands, and not literally rubber bands, but it runs off rubber treads. The treads pull through and move the machine, and I'm not a big fan of those. I'd rather have the screw-driven motors, and so that's what I would have. The CNC Shark from what is that? I don't know what store that is. I can't think of it off the top of my head. Rockler, I think, has the CNC Shark. That's actually a pretty decent machine from what I can tell. If I really get ambitious, I may upgrade to that. But I want to do a laser burner for the whiskey barrels. That's like my next big purchase. I don't know if I want to get there, though. All right. That's the CNC I'm using. I'm going to have to yell at the kids here in a second for being annoying. I am in Chicago. Mitch, have you heard of the guitar program in Red Wing? No, I don't know that one. My buddy did do the Grand Rapids guitar building. Brian Gallup, I think, it's Gallup Guitars up in Grand Rapids. My buddy Doug went up there, I guess, 25 years ago, and he had a pretty good experience with Gallup Guitars. And now Gallup is a pretty awesome shop, so he had a good experience. I don't know the Red Wing, Minnesota shop. I mean, my whole life goal was to get to Nashville and get a piece of property outside of Nashville, then do guitar building and have my wife run a yoga studio. But we're back in Chicago, so that's not in the future plans. That's what I wanted to do. I really wanted to get the guitar building shop somewhere in Nashville in the hills, and maybe we'll get there again. What's up, Julian? What's going on, buddy? I'm in Chicago. Would you ever consider providing feedback on work? I would. Michael, you can always send me an email. I don't take visitors at the shop unless someone's buying something, but I will definitely answer guitar-related questions or give you feedback. I'm pretty nice. That's why I do these things for you guys. Mark Bundy follows Jay Nelson on Instagram. He's a Fender Custom Shop trigger sprayer. I think I followed that same guy. Is that Mark? Is that the guy that's got the water running down the background with like a $30,000 spray setup? That is awesome. I love that guy. I'm not going to go through my Instagram now, but yeah, I love that painting setup they have. All right. Anyone near South Elgin? No, I'm in Naperville. Actually, my brother, I guess, is on the North Shore, but that's not near Elgin either. My thoughts on lacquer. What do you mean, Mark? I use it. I'm spraying nitro right now. 2K is too toxic. Lacquer's too finicky. I don't think there's a perfect finish yet. I really don't. To compete with Gibson quality, I stole their quality. Now, Gibson's Q quality assurance is not great, but their spray systems are freaking awesome. When they get them going, they've got that grounded powder coating system. Man, I wish I could get some of the finishes that they get. It's just their Q&A sucks. Michael Greenwood is in Niles, and I used to work in Niles. Grew up in Nord Park, actually. I went to Maine South, dude. We may know the same people, Michael. Spraying color lacquer. I make my own colors all the time. I do that a lot. I make custom colors. It's pretty good. Good old Chicago. I spend my fair time in Great Mistakes. I mean, like, yeah, I wish I could get out of here and be back in Nashville, but my 9 to 5 is actually going really well, so I'm stuck here for a while. Are you guys hearing my kids being annoying? Let me know, and I will spank them. All right, what else we got here? Yeah, the Gibson spray system is awesome. They ground the guitars and then they spray it so then the finish absorbs into it. It's a great system. It's a German system. I mean, I'm spraying with cans and an HVLP system, which is a nice system. That Fuji system I have is nice, but it's not the same. All right, Tom D. I just finished my first Strat router pattern for a recessed rear access plate. Do you think this is sellable? Yeah, I mean, I do hardtails all the time with that big Stu Mac, whatever. What is it that? I guess it's the WD. No, it's the Warmoth site. Oh my God, Doug Kraus, I know you. What's up, buddy? I did get screwed in Tennessee. How are you? You still here in Chicago, man? Baseball guitar. I did a baseball bat guitar for Justin. I have a video series on it. He didn't like it. It was too hard for him to see where the frets were, and I needed to redo it, and we just sat on it. So Timothy's saying I might buy a Glary and I may buy a Glary and pimp it up for an open slide. Yeah, those Glary guitars aren't bad, especially if you start replacing some of the hardware. The tuners are crap, but you can definitely play along on with those guitars. They're not terrible. I mean, they're terrible enough, but they're sort of usable. It's not a real great answer. All right. I'm out in Cary. I'm thinking about a build, maybe a kit to start. Any recommendation? You should go to Owl Hardwood and find some wood and play with that. That's not a bad place to start. Doug is asking about a lap steel. Yeah, man, send me a note. I would love to do one of those. I actually haven't done one of those yet. Life is okay now. I'm in a much better spot for sure. Actually, enjoying my 9 to 5. I don't like the Squire bullets. What you could do is you could get a older Squire made in Japan and play with that. Those are some pretty decent guitars. I have a made in Japan Strat that I'm sitting on right here. Those are fun to customize. The necks are beautiful, fast and awesome. So you got 6 minutes, guys. Haven't had that many people join us today. I don't know why. Usually we're maybe at like 50-ish. Got about 37, so I'll join a little drink. What else is going on today? The Squire Classic vibes are kind of cool. Yeah, the other good guitar to screw around with is an Ibanez Roadstar. Those are made in Japan. I had one of those many years ago. I actually liked it enough to copy the shape. I did like the Roadstar. Those were nice guitars. It was pretty cheap too. I would get another one. I still look at them every once in a while. I could have sworn I had one. I can't remember when I dumped it. Thank you for all the great insights. Thank you, Matt. Appreciate that. Reading questions and trying to chat at the same time. Timothy, they have a made in Japan Squire in Arlington Heights, $5.99. Yeah, that is a little bit high. That's actually, that Arlington Heights Guitar Center is where I bought my first guitar. I had a Photo Flame Strat, and my parents were pissed I bought it, and I returned it, and that was a terrible mistake. It was like my first real guitar. I should have kept it. I don't think, I mean, I have an American Strat, Doug. I've got an old one. I've got a 25th anniversary Strat I'm looking at. It's like a boat anchor. It's an ash body. It weighs a ton. I haven't bought any guitars in a while. I mean, I did a video maybe it was last year on that no, I bought what was it, a Les Paul Custom, a white Les Paul Custom from Japan, and I let my buddy have that for a while. I don't know if I'm ever getting it back, but I enjoyed that guitar. I love Japanese stuff. I will go to Tokyo and do some videos for you guys eventually. That's one of the spots on my list. I just have to make friends with a shop in Tokyo that wants to do like a BigDGuitars demo or something like that. So, but I will get out to Tokyo. There's supposed to be some awesome guitar shops out there. I know some of the places I bought from have some beautiful stuff. Hey, what's up, Doc? My first body project is a short horn symmetrical guitar, taking the bottom of a Strat and flipping it up, kind of like an SG. That should be cool. 70s classic Telly. I don't have a. I don't have a. I have a 70s Strat. Ooh, I got this. I have an anniversary Strat. This is a 25th anniversary. 1954 to 1979. This thing is heavy. It's got the big fat CBS headstock. Frets are worn down. They still got a little bit of life, but if someone was a grinder, they would kill this thing. It's got one dent here. I bought this to go with my 25th, 50th Les Paul that I have in the basement. And this one is a weird guitar. The coloring is weird. It's faded weird. But I've just been sitting on it. It's funny, the guy who owned it previously, there's an engraving of his Social Security number on this thing. It's weird. All right, what else we got here? Have I ever scalloped a neck? No, I have not. I sort of did with all the work I put into a guitar neck once. We didn't like the color, and I scraped the frets, and it sort of flattened it out, but didn't scallop it. So I have not scalloped a neck. Doug is saying, honestly, replace the tuners, classic vibe. Better than anything from 1500. Yep. Headstock on my SG cracked. Use type on red. Holding great, but wondering what you would use. Yeah, if your headstock cracked and you glue it, what usually I would do then is I would run a spline on each side to get that to sit properly. That's what I would do. Which inlays these? Or what are we talking? Oh, on Instagram. Yeah, I posted some stuff on Instagram. If you guys want to follow me, I show all the stuff I'm working on usually there. I just dyed and used wipe on water-based poly on a mahogany baby body. I didn't fill the grain. And you should just wet sanding and buffing. If you didn't fill the grain and you stain and you put the dye in, if you wet sand and buff, I'm not sure you'll get the look you're looking for. You may just want to leave it because you'll have sort of the little bumps here and there. I don't know if I'd buff it. I'm not sure about that, dude. You may want to just leave it, rub it with some steel wool, and then maybe you can buff it. I don't know. I have to think about that. What water-based dye do you use, or what water-based finish? Let's see. Tim and Doug are chatting, and I'm not following it. If you use the Minwax, if you let it dry long enough, you should be able to let it sit. This is one I've got that was the Minwax. Oh, everything just fell. This is a Minwax stain, but I didn't buff it. This is a nice non-yellowing stain. This is a Burl guitar I was trying to sell. It's got some made in Japan pickups, and a bird's eye neck. This is nice. This is a nice guitar. It's a swamp ash body with a veneer, and then I, did the regular carve off of it. And I was trying to sell this for a while, and no one wanted it, so I'm just sitting on it. But I don't think I actually bought this, Matt. I think I just left it. Just can't remember off the top of my head. I'd have to watch my video. And then I got everything else. Put this back. Whoa. Getting old. I got this tennis elbow that's killing me. I don't understand why it bothered me so bad. All right, it's 5 o'clock. We're going to jump off here and make dinner. So any final questions, ask them, and I will go at them here. All right. Thank you for the comment, Doug. There's a Minwax Antique White that I want to use on the strap body I have. I don't know that one. Send me a note on that, Chris. I'll take a look at that. Tim Thomas saying, I got lucky. The joint is flush, just a hairline crack in the finish. If you get just a hairline crack in the finish, you could always put like a little bit of lacquer thinner on it. It should seal that crack unless there's a crack underneath. Looks great. Mine is fairly glossy. Just wasn't sure about that last step. Yeah, I mean, you don't always have to buff on that, so... Nutmaster, thank you for your time. Welcome. What's for supper? We're making tacos and Mexican rice. That's it. Kills me as a mechanic at O'Hare. Yeah, I have got this like right here. Oh, hurts. Where can I send the pic? Send it to Derek at BigDGuitars. I will answer most questions there. Stain is not taking because of excessive glue on the binding. Any tricks? So K-Mac, if you have the body and you put the binding over it and it glued and then that glue seeped through, what you're going to have to do is get a razor and scrape till the glue isn't there. And if that doesn't work, what you're going to have to do is feather with your finish to hide the non-taking the stain. So what I mean is what you have to do is you have to feather like this. So this is a fabric top, but if this was stained and I didn't have the stain on the side that absorbed and you were getting, the wood sealed because of the glue, what you got to do then is you have to spray a feather on the side of like either black or whatever color you're staining with. And that should get that line then to disappear. It's kind of a pain. It just doesn't work. So that might actually be it. I don't know what I'm doing with the tennis elbow yet. I usually wear this, and that helps. I just haven't put it on. I got to put it on today. It's really bothering me. Valerie, namaste to you too as well. We had tacos. Yeah, we're doing tacos. I love the whiskey barrel. Thank you guys. 40 minutes, time to make dinner, and we'll let you go. Have a great weekend. I'll get those other videos up shortly, and for those that have lasted, thank you, and we'll see you guys. Yeah, Doug, send me a note. We'll chat. See you guys.